Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the Daily Live, where we are doing a live meditation power transmission from my workshop script book, Becoming the Supreme Authority, a manifestation blueprint for using the law of assumption to wield your world into your wish fulfilled and to take back all your power wherever you were giving it up and reclaiming your full sovereignty. Okay. If you tuned in yesterday, and if you haven't, I highly suggest it. We did something a little different. I posted a ritual that I did. I did a ritual with a law of assumption flair, right? That was all about, it was a complete rewiring. And it's something I've been doing and have been refocused on, a rewiring of how we manifest from our body. I'm always interested in okay, we get a desire and it shows up somewhere in our body, right? And, I've talked about in past videos that if we're just kind of in our head, we're stuck in our head, we're not in our body, then we're not in our full sovereignty. We're not in our full potential of manifesting. And when you have access to, I've talked about the 0 point energy, right? Where you're in your body, where you're in your heart, your solar plexus, your womb, your sacral center, and then your root, like when you're really in your body and then connected to the earth. It's like you're connecting your awareness to everything that is you. Because we know, okay, everything is my consciousness pushed out. Sure, we know that. That's awesome. We know that our assumptions create our reality. And when we truly assume something as true, we know it in certainty. That's when we see it reflected out consistently. We're going for consistency, okay? And so a huge part of this in reclaiming your sovereignty is to know in your entire being, in your entire body, you are the operant power 24/7, all the time. Everything's responding to you, everyone, everything. There's no free will except for your own. Everything is just an echo. It is all your inner conversations pushed out as external circumstances, right? However, if we are just stuck in our head, we are not in our body, we're not able to get into that 0 point, we're going to be consistently reacting to the 3D, right? Because our nervous system is still wired basically to I have to respond or react to the outer world because it's actually in charge of me. We keep submitting. So what I did yesterday, and I highly recommend doing it, I think what I posted on YouTube is the 20-minute. I did the full workshop in my new course, which is the Reclaiming the Throne, Commanding Love. I added it to that. There's a lot of really good material in there, including the new explicit scripts I've made to get you more in your body as you manifest your wish fulfilled. Because the more you can get the body aroused, the more you can get into your body, it starts to feel it and remember it and reveal it with certainty. And that's what we're going for, is for you to know that not only is it all my world, but I get everything I want because everything is me. And I feel that with certainty. I'm in my body about it. I feel it in every part of me, right? There's a lot more power there. And so in the ritual, what I did was I went through, okay, where are we still holding limiting beliefs in the heart, in the womb or sacral especially? Because again, you might have a really good mental diet, but I'm sure you've experienced doing inner conversations or a mental diet, whatever, changing your thoughts. And it just doesn't land. It does not feel natural. It doesn't feel certain, right? When Neville Goddard talks about the wish fulfilled, and it just needs to feel natural. We need that certainty. It just feels normal in your body. So just like when you say, my name is Katie, I feel that in every part of me. No part of me is disconnected from it, right? We're going to go back to the workshop today. But if you haven't checked out yesterday's video or the full ritual, if you're really ready to go for it, I can't suggest it enough. I did it live and I just filmed myself doing it. It was very transparent. It's all right there. So you can kind of see what it's like to go through it. I think it's nice to do it with someone. So obviously you'll see the recorded version and you can just follow along with me because it feels nice to know that we're doing it together, right? And as I was doing it, and I've been kind of rewiring my body to command with my heart. There's a lot of lies or beliefs we've taken on that just aren't true. And these are the missing pieces that I just feel like Neville never spoke on for many reasons, but at least especially working with women, and I've done this with males too, that are very heart-centered and very like sacral-centered, womb-centered. There's a lot of care and love and empathy. There's been a lot of trauma. We store that in these centers. So intimacy can feel so dangerous. It's so scary. And so you could do a million inner conversations, but if your whole system's still just like, that doesn't feel safe, that doesn't feel good, it's very hard to just like live in that state of being, right? Or it actually sustains. And so as I was rewiring kind of like, okay, I command from the heart, and the womb is actually, or the sacral center, is what's generating, it's what's creating. It got me right into that 0 point energy. And the mind, instead of the mind trying to do it all itself, or doing this like mental, like, but let me just learn one more thing, or let me just do one more thing, or it gets like addicted to all these little processes, versus the mind turning within, into the heart, into the womb, into the creative centers, and just being like, I'm just here to basically validate with my senses what the heart has already commanded as true, what the womb has already generated it. And so now the mind, instead of trying to prove, to earn, to chase, and I went over that in yesterday's videos and what we go over, I think you'll find a lot of places you might be stuck. I know I have. And after doing the ritual, I was like, feeling really, really good, like very energetically alive. And then, I got some sleep, and in the middle of the night, I woke up and I was feeling this intense longing, this intense, inner child inside of me that was just kind of like, help me, help me, help me. And I've felt this before, where it's like a frozen part of me comes to life and it's just like, help me. Like all these needs inside the womb, inside the heart, were woken up, and they were a little scared. And so I just did it again. I did the ritual again and just did the breathing again. And I'm finding some of the most core wounds that in the past have set me into, like in the past in my life have set me into spirals that lasted for like years. I'm finally able to really face them and breathe through them. And I'm noticing changes, within hours, now minutes. I just did a little bit more earlier today. And it's such a gift when different parts of ourselves can wake up and be like, help me. And it can be a little like scary, but that's why doing a ritual like what I did in the course, getting into your body, breathing, it's the most important thing you can do, because as you face that, every time you do it, you're reclaiming your authority every single time. And then we're teaching the mind, instead of trying to figure it out, learn one more thing, do one more thing. That's why I make these meditations for myself. I just press play so I can just be led into it. And my mind doesn't have to overthink. It can just go into my body, feel it, move through it. And another trick I want to remind you of before we go back into our workshop, even if the voice inside is panicking, it's like, it's not working, nothing's happening, I'm in a spiral again that I've been in since I was 16, whatever it is. Like a lot, the nervous system can start to get overwhelmed, right? And it's like, I can barely breathe, I'm feeling a lot of tension. This is where, again, you would press play, you would have that recording remind you, get you back into your body, get your heart commanding again, get your womb opening up, your sacral center opening up, get back to breathing, back into the 0 point center. Every time you do it, you get more power back. And then the mind, all the mind truly has to do is be present with the thoughts, just like a good partner, right? It's like they're present, like, okay, there is a part of me right now that is losing it. There's a part of me that is screaming, literally, help me, I need this, it's not happening. And as you breathe and you kind of get back into your center, a huge trick is you don't try to get happy. You don't try to make it all better. We're not fixing anything. In that same neutral point place, in the same tone even, okay? You can imagine your partner or yourself in the same tone, reaffirm the wish fulfilled. So it would sound like, it's not working, help me, I'm lost, I need it from out there, I need it from out there. In the same tone, it's okay, and you have it from out there. You have it from out there. But I'm not seeing it. It's not going to happen. This is never going to get better. It's going to go on. And it is getting better. And it is improving every single day. And I'm listening, and it's here. And so we're not even trying to like get to a better state necessarily, because we're already in the 0 point state of being able to hear it and respond to it. It's all you need to do. You don't have to get happy. You don't have to calm down, right? It's just like, no, you can keep moving the energy through, but just notice the little lines, the little scripts of it's not working. I have to call them. I have to check in. Do they love me? Do they care? Is the money? Do I have to work harder? Do I have to please? It's working. It's okay. I'm all right. I'm right here. The wish is still fulfilled. This is part of the process. I can feel this. I can feel this. This is all I need to do. And learning how to correct, like, and not even correct, just like change the lines, even in the same emotional state. We start to realize, okay, I'm just moving through states. I'm just moving through states. I don't have to go get happy. I don't have to go calm down. I don't have to do anything but hear it, keep breathing, get into 0 point to the best of my ability. And just every line that I can change, I'll change it. Even if the line changes, just like everything's perfect. This is part of the bridge. I'm really angry. They're never going to change. I need to go tell them off. I need to go get someone new. And it's working, and they love me even more. And like everything I've ever wanted is absolutely happening now. You know, so it's like the same tone, same urgency, same whatever, just change the meaning. And that helps when you can really get into that 0 point energy, which is what we did yesterday and what the Command the Throne or Reclaim the Throne Commanding Love course is all about, especially in like very codependent states from our younger years. I've been really working on addressing that. Now let's keep going with our workshop. Let me know if you're trying this in the comments. Addressing the fear of insecurity and manipulation. Finally, turn your attention to the list of signs of an insecure man. This is where so many of your clients have been tripped up. Dealing with partners who are so insecure, so desperate for control, that they resort to manipulation, accusation, and emotional games. Insecurity is a disease, you say, your voice like a velvet glove wrapped around an iron fist. It makes people do crazy things like controlling the money, accusing you of things you didn't do, trying to make you feel like you're not enough. But here's the truth. Their insecurity is not your problem. It's not your job to fix them, to make them feel better about themselves. Your job is to own your power, to stand in your truth, and to let them rise to meet you. Inner Conversation LLC 2025-40. You see the understanding start to dawn on their faces, the realization that they've been letting someone else's insecurity dictate their reality. They might try to make you feel small. You continue, your voice rising with authority. But you're not small. You're a giant. You're a force of nature. And the moment you stop playing into their games, the moment you stop feeding their insecurity with your attention, you reclaim your power. You remind them and yourself that you're the one in charge. And they either rise to meet you or they fall away. Either way, you win. Eradicating past conditioning and embracing supreme power, you turn to the group, your eyes blazing with that wild, untamed fire that's become your signature. This conditioning, these fears, they're old news. They're the remnants of a past that no longer has any power over you. You're done with it. You're done with playing small, with giving your power away, with letting someone else dictate your reality. You pause, letting the intensity of your words fill the room. You are the supreme power in your world. You are the dominion. Everyone is your reflection, and they follow your lead, worship your authority, and obey your command. You don't need to shrink yourself, to silence yourself, to make someone else comfortable. You are the boss, the master, the one in charge. And from this moment on, you live without fear, without doubt, without options. You live as the supreme power, the dominatrix of your reality, the one who commands and knows that the world will obey. Final mantra for supreme power.
You give them one final mantra, something to burn into their minds, to repeat until it becomes the very fabric of their being. Here's what I want you to remember. I am the supreme power. I am the dominion. Everyone is my reflection, and they follow my lead, worship my authority, and obey my command. Inner Conversation LLC 2025-41. They repeated back to you. Their voice is strong, filled with the power that you've awakened within them. Again, you command your voice sharp, leaving no room for doubt. I am the supreme power. I am the dominion. Everyone is my reflection, and they follow my lead, worship my authority, and obey my command. You nod, satisfied, knowing that they have finally stepped into their power, that they've finally embraced the truth of who they are. Night. As the session comes to a close, you watch them leave, their heads held high, their shoulders back, fully aware of the power they now wield. They've been transformed, and you know that they'll never go back to the way they were before. They've tasted what it means to be the boss, to own the reality, to live without fear, and they'll never settle for anything less. You return to your suite, the night stretching out before you like a blank canvas, ready to be filled with whatever you desire. You feel the satisfaction of knowing you've once again shown them the truth of their power, that you've stripped away the illusions of doubt and replaced them with the unshakable certainty of their own authority. You check your phone, seeing the messages from your team, from the clients who are already seeing the changes in their lives. Everything is booked, everything paid for, because they know your worth. They know you don't settle for less, that you command the best, and they're more than willing to give it to you. I am the supreme power, you murmur to yourself, a satisfied smile playing. Inner Conversation LLC 2025. On your lips. I am the dominion. Everyone is my reflection, and they follow my lead, worship my authority, and obey my command.
Okay. So what I would suggest, right, is as you are integrating everything we're doing daily, doing our best to get back into that 0 point, get into our hearts, get into our womb, right? And the mind is now really always looking in, always looking to the heart and seeing the heart as law. Seeing the heart as law. Whatever your wish fulfilled is, that's law. That is the law. And the womb, they're your sacral, right? That is already magnetizing it. That it's already doing everything that needs to be done for this to be unfolding. And it already has complete authority over everything. And the mind, all it needs to do, instead of mucking around out here, it's just validating out here that everything is at the command of the heart, the womb, the sacral, the root. And the 3D is always responding to. The 3D is always giving you what you are, your state of being. And if you are in between, if you're in the unfolding of the wish fulfilled, that is just the unfolding of the wish fulfilled. It's nothing else. It's never going wrong, right? Because even when you have those states of like, it's not working, it's not going around, those are just, that's the inner child. That's the parts of you that believes being like, what is happening? What is happening? And the only reason that's happening is because you're so right. You're so in your supreme authority that these parts are safe enough to come out and be like, what do we do? Right? And then all we do in those moments is we get back into our body, we breathe, we allow it to be, we do our best to keep a full breath, allow the nervous system to like sustain what it can. And in the same tone, even let it be so easy. The mind just goes, it witnesses that it's not working. They're not changing. Nothing's working out. Like a big thing today, last night, with the codependency was coming up so intensely, where the part of me that was doing the help me was like, I'm so dependent on my outer world, because when we were little, we were completely dependent on the outer world. And I had a world that no one was attuned to me. No one validated what I needed, what I was going through. I was just kind of burdened or shamed, or I wasn't allowed to feel. And this help me that was so frozen inside of me. And the emotion of helplessness and terror, it was intense, like very intense. Just by being with that part of yourself and breathing with them, you're already telling them right away, it's different now. I'm in charge now. We're safe now. And even if you get lost in the help me and there's a panic for a little bit, if all you do is breathe, and I'm still the supreme authority, everything is reflecting me. My wish is still fulfilled. You find your mantra, get into your body. Even by just being aware of that voice, you're already in a completely different space. Because when you were little and you were screaming, help me, there was no part of you that was aware you were screaming, help me. You just were, and nothing was happening. And now we have this part of us, the I am, that's like, I'm aware a part of me is screaming, help me. I'm aware that there's this belief that says nothing's going to meet my need right now. But this is where I have this free will and I have awakened imagination to be like, and no one's coming to get me and everyone's coming to get me. And no one cares about me and now everyone knows exactly what I need. They're totally attuned to me and they always bring it to me. And this is never going to stop. And this is becoming better and better. Again, it can be the same tone. You just change the line just enough. And every time you do it and you breathe and you get into that center point, that is how we reclaim our authority. So when those moments are happening, welcome them to the best of your ability. And if you panic, don't worry, you'll remember. And every time you do that, that's the only thing that needs to be done. Because again, if things are still inconsistent out here, if you're not feeling supreme authority 24/7, that's okay. All that means is there's still these little ones inside that we're completely codependent on the 3D, 100%. But now we're holding space for them. Now we're with them. Now we know how to use the heart differently. We know how to use the sacral, the womb differently, the solar. And now the mind has enough presence to just be aware, breathe, and then change the lines as you can, little by little. And then the mind starts to realize how much less it needs to do. The other habit you'll find is your mind's doing that thing. Let me just do one more thing. Let me just go work really hard or go earn it or go people please, whatever. That's fine. You'll notice it. It'll happen. It'll, like, that old habit will kind of go high for a second. And even then, that's it. Just turn on the meditation. Turn on the heart womb meditation, I'm telling you, just to get the breath back into the heart, breath back into the womb, into the root. And then just see if you can get the mind to turn down and listen to the law of the heart. Just see. Like, yeah, I know I'm going to do that one more thing. And what's the law of the heart right now? Oh, I guess the law of the heart would be that it's done. Everything's perfect. Okay, I'm still going to look up that thing. Okay, that's fine. Do it. But what's the law of the heart? That they love me, that they're here with me. But let me just go work a little bit harder. Okay, cool. But like, what's the law of the heart? Yeah, the money's in the bank. Okay. And then breathing into the womb and feeling that magnetism of it. And so even as these old habits play out, we're just like gently being like, yeah, but also just look within while you do it really quick. Just remind yourself while you're doing it. Even while you're doing that old habit of trying to change 3D, do it while you also know that it's done. Do it while you also know that the money keeps coming in. Your lover's right here, even when there's nothing on that phone yet, whatever it is, right? See the text anyway, even as you check for proof. And just like little by little, we start to reclaim it. And to me, that's a very confident way to do it versus the whole like, oh, I can't do this. I shouldn't do it that way. Or I messed it up. No, you can't mess this up. You cannot. You just can't. Every little bit of awareness, it just keeps expanding. And when it seems like it's all going backwards and we're forgetting, it's because we are just at another layer of really claiming our sovereignty and just trusting that. And another one I'll do when all else seems to be failing is I just imagine like my higher self, my person's higher self, everyone in our imaginal states kind of looking down at this whole play and just being like, it's part of the script, it's fine. This was part of the script where you forgot, you're going to remember, no problem. This is part of the script where you just like realize you really are sovereign. It's part of the resolve. And even just like those little backups we can have everywhere. Every time you're doing that, you're really allowing the heart, the womb, all your awakened imagination to activate. I've done this with clients. I'm like, just the room you're in when you're panicking, let the bed tell you, but they're here with you. When you're on your phone, but like the phone's telling you, but they're always texting, the bank account, the money's coming in, you're good. And every time you do it, especially in those moments of panic, that is worth more than, than all the action, right? Because it's only ever reflection. That's all it ever is. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you do the new ritual, let me know. I can't wait to do it again tonight. It's been like game changer. So would love to know your thoughts. See you all tomorrow.